persuasive speech is designed to influence your audience's beliefs or actions. Unlike an informative speech, which simply presents facts, a persuasive speech aims to convince the audience to adopt a particular viewpoint or take specific action. For example, today you'll be preparing a speech that encourages professionals to embrace sustainable business practices. Your goal is to address their concerns, provide compelling reasons for change, and motivate them to act. Before you start writing your speech, you have to know exactly who your audience is. For our lecture today, we are writing a speech addressing mid-level professionals who are likely familiar with sustainability but have varying levels of commitment and understanding when it comes to applying these practices in their businesses. Keeping your audience engaged is key to successful persuasive speech. One way to do this is by asking rhetorical questions that encourage them to think about their own situations. For example, you might ask, can your business afford not to invest in sustainability when consumer demand for ethical practices is at all-time high? Questions like this make the topic directly relevant to their professional realities and prompt them to consider the benefits of your message. Start your persuasive speech with a strong introduction and quickly grab the attention of your audience. This can be emotional, shocking, or funny as long as it's powerful. After you have your audience's attention, you should clearly introduce the topic of your speech. You need to distill your research into a few key arguments. These should be the most powerful and persuasive arguments from your research, the ones that you believe will convince your listeners to agree with your point of view. Choose between 2 or 4 key arguments to keep your audience interested. When giving a persuasive speech, it is important to acknowledge and address any counter arguments from the opposition. Not only does this show that you have done your research, but it addresses any concerns or doubts your audience may have. Lastly, you should finish your persuasive speech with a strong closing argument. You may choose to save your strongest argument for this point or reinforce a previous point you made. Either way, your closing argument should be the thing your audience remembers the most. Now that we know who we're speaking to and what we want to achieve, let's talk about how to structure your speech for maximum impact. A well-organized speech will help you clearly convey your message and persuade your audience. Start with a hook that grabs the attention and establishes your credibility. For this audience, consider opening with a powerful statistic about how sustainable practices can impact long-term profitability. For example, you might say, did you know that companies that embrace sustainability are 30% more likely to see long-term financial success? This immediately ties the topic to their professional interests and sets the stage for your speech. Discuss how sustainable practices can save money in long run and create financial opportunities. Use data and examples to back up your claims, showing that sustainability isn't just good for the planet, it's good for the bottom line too. Explain how adopting sustainable practices can boost a company's reputation and attract more customers. Share case studies of companies that have successfully integrated sustainability into their brand and seen positive results. Provide clear, actionable steps for how businesses can start incorporating sustainability into their operations. This could include things like reducing waste, using renewable energy, or adopting fair trade practices. Include expert testimonials and practical tips to make these steps seem achievable. Wrap up your speech by summarizing your main points and reinforcing your main sentiment. Remind your audience of the benefits you've discussed, economic gains, enhanced reputation, and practical steps they can take. End with a compelling statement that ties to your introduction. For example, by committing to sustainable practice today, you're not just improving your business, you're investing in a better future for everyone.